everyone, and this is CreepingNet playing probably for the third time on this channel. One of my favorite games and most misunderstood for the NES, Bigfoot. This game is based on the original monster truck created by Bob Chandler in 1974 to promote his four-wheel drive shop, Midwest Four-Wheel Drive, and this is the first time I'm ever going to play it with commentary. Anyway, it's obvious this game was made for little kids. Anyway, we're going to start in Mesa, Arizona, which seems kind of strange. It's almost like Cannonball Run, C2C Shining Dash. Oh man, the environmentalists are not going to be happy here. By the way, kids, this isn't really how it's done. When they take a monster truck to the racing shows, they actually use a semi. Actually, one of the requirements to work for Bigfoot, or so I hear, is that you have to have a commercial driver's license. Yeah, I don't think that they would be too happy about letting these trucks go out there. Yeah. That guy's got the saw. If you use that little ram plate thing, like I just grabbed there, you can use it both as a battering ram, and you can use it to go ahead and, you can use it as a battering ram, and you can use it as a way to defend yourself from the saw. I generally try to grab as much money as I can when I'm on these rounds. So then, basically in this game, if you run out of money, it's pretty much game over. Which I guess could apply to monster trucks, although I gotta say the prices here are amazing. I mean, really. I never quite figured out, though, why they used brick nose, like 1980 to 87 style F-Series trucks for the overhead view races, and then they used the 70s dent side trucks for the actual races. I guess they were trying to represent as many models. When really by this point Bigfoot was running brick nose 87 to 91 style F-Series trucks. By that point they're all F-250 Lariats, I believe. This game is really primed for some ROM hacks. Okay, now time for me to explain a little bit about the side-by-side races, and I've probably explained this before. But basically, between each round, you have the usual monster truck events of the 80s, car crushes, hill climbs, tractor pulls, that kind of stuff. Well, you upgrade the equipment on your truck, so, the more engine you have, the less likely you're going to blow it up. Bigger tires tend to fare better, especially in things like the tractor pull. With the car crush, I just max everything out. That's why you want to save the money. Although I gotta say, for these prices, it's pretty freaking amazing. I mean, transmission for $400, it's like $3,000 nowadays, at least. $200 for shocks is that's kind of high, but, well, not really. Actually, I've looked at Summit Racing, and the shocks are actually around that price for something lifted like a old Leaf or monster truck, so. $600, I would say $600 per tire, at best. Actually, one thing that really confounds me about this game is the 4 levels of tires are actually quite visible. Down here you're on the 48s. These look to be the 66s. These are those 72-inch tires Bigfoot never ever ran, and then this is the 10-foot tall. I guess everybody rated the Seattle junkyard on this. Anyway, enough babbling. Let's race. Yeah, your competitors are actually, I found out, a lot of the competitors in here were actual monster trucks. There actually was the Growler, and there was the Charger, and I think there was even a Terminator. They were real trucks. And here I usually juice it up with nitro before I go, just so I can get a good start, and then as soon as it goes, try to fly up through the gears as fast as I can. Yeah, I might blow up a couple engines, but I always win that way. If you go fast enough, you actually get some air, which is something you never see the AI player do. There are 2 things in Bigfoot that I noticed. The AI player almost never uses nitrous or changes gears, and that's like key in this game to actually winning every round. And sometimes you can avoid damaging your engines entirely, which this is the engines here are like the #1 thing to blow up in Bigfoot. I mean, you're gonna go through thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of engines in this game. Tires are the second most likely thing to go. Transmissions only go if you keep banging on the gear shift button, which I think is the B button, And if you keep banging on that B button, it'll break your transmission. Kind of like a real stick shift. And for the shocks, you never really see the shocks go bad until the very last level. So here we go. So now we're going to sit here. We're going to wait. Dash is modeled after a F-150 from the late 80s, early 90s. You can see you got to keep up that wheel speed. Got some air there. Blew up 2 engines. And that's how you do it. You move the trucks by alternating the D-pad left and right, which I think is the dumbest control scheme they could have ever come up with for this game. The problem with that control scheme is, one, if you're a little kid, it makes it really hard to play. A second bad thing about it is that it'll really hurt your hands. I'm kind of looking into it myself on a way to hack Bigfoots, and actually you have some controls more like Excite Bike in here. I think someone really should ROM hack this. I thought also about changing all the trucks to the bullnose Fords. I really think this game, if they had taken their time on it, they could have probably really done something amazing. I mean, think about it. You could have had like a shuttle or a fast tracks round. You could have had, you know, I think it would have been totally doable on the NES. Oh, I had to use up my nitros. Well, I'm up to 3,000. I don't know if we'll see it happen with the Growler, but with the Charger, who's the next truck after we beat out the Growler, the Charger has a tendency to go kamikaze, and somehow in this game, going kamikaze, either the player or the computer AI trucks causes money to just get generated en masse all across the playfield, if you're lucky. I don't know what the percentage of the chance is, but it just happens when... Usually I'll see it happen when the next competitor up, I don't remember if it was the Crusher or the Terminator or what the heck, but he'll just go to the side of the screen of the overhead view levels, and he'll just go meh, 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 and just do this until all of a sudden the playfield fills up with money. Like some sort of edgelord little kid threatening self-harm if he doesn't get cash. Me as player 1, I'm too classy to do that. Yeah, Bigfoot's got some really unclassy competitors in this game. This is the mud race. This track's a little longer. It doesn't really seem... These are actually the easier races. Like, I can get her up into 3rd gear. And I usually try to save my engines by the time I get to the end of the pit. You'll notice because I'll start pulsing the nitros, and then use my gear shift to throw myself across the finish line just a little faster. And sorry if this all sounds like insane babbling, but I've played this game and beaten it so many bloody times, I know my way around it like my left hand. And yeah, if you were curious, yeah, I was a huge Bigfoot fan as a kid. Still am, actually. Those guys have been keeping it classy for over 45 years. Now we're gonna goose it, put her in 3rd, drop off, let the engine carry her a little, pulsing that nitro, and then up into 3rd over the finish line. Yeah, and the main goal in Bigfoot is actually to have the highest score. That's how you actually win the game. So it's to have the highest score, but the money is what will get you disqualified for game over. Okay, we are headed to up the way, and all the towns in this game are real towns. You know, like they have well, we'll go over them on there. They have like Mesa, Arizona, Reno, Nevada. a few other places. I'll point them out if I remember to. Because I'm... Alright, guy. A saw for a saw. That's the only thing about this jerk is the growler is really aggressive. Next round is actually the Yakima, Washington hill climb, which is also a real town because, well, I lived in Washington for years. So... Oh, you... Yeah, and the key to keeping Bigfoot moving forward on these levels is actually to go back and forth. Wow, that was weird. I've never had it do that before. This cart's finally getting tired of me. Yeah, I always try to rush for the finish line and save my nitros for the finish line at the end. That's how I always win that part. Yes, now I have 5,900 bucks, almost $6,000 and 19,000 points. I think also the way you play the side-scrolling levels affects the score. It gives you a higher score if you complete it in a faster time. I don't know if the manual mentioned that, because, well, I lost my manual long ago. And yeah, in case anyone was asking, yes, I am playing this on a real NES. My original cartridge I got when I was 8 years old in 1990, and I've had it all these years. There you go. 4,100. This is the hill climb. This is one of the most aggravating freaking levels in here. It's like literally a gamble whether or not you're going to lose or win, because it uses up your tires and your engines, and as you can see already, I usually just bum rush through the first engine. And then I just start throttling it through carefully to get ahead of him. And I'll usually decide to just take it a little... Wow, that was one of my best runs on the hill climb I've ever had, actually. He's just rolling backwards, and you see how his tires have gone down? Yep, he's down to the 66s now. If I can replicate that carefully, I might actually be able to blast my way through this game. So... let's hit this button. I always tear through the first engine a little bit faster than normal. And I try to kind of pulse it a little bit, save my transmission, save my engine, and then I try to just sort of go for it and throw myself across the finish line. Let's see if he actually gets 48s. Nah. I whipped through it, but you can see how much of a toll the hill climb takes on the truck. And to be honest, that is kind of an accurate assessment. If you know, I think it was probably maybe inspired by all the stories about the gravel-rama hill climbs Bigfoot used to do back in the day. Or up in Fargo. Also another real place. This game's almost like a geography game if you think about it. At least in that regard. Yes, I'm probably the worst YouTube reviewer and Let's Player on the history, but hey. I like keeping it old school. Anyway. Yes, Bigfoot's new sponsor, Skill Saw. Not Skillshare, Skill Saw. Yes, as you can see, Growler's been eliminated, and now I don't know what's going on here. What the heck? That was the weirdest glitch ever. Oh, he's going for the suicide run where he's going to try to populate the playfield with money. Maybe I should just sit here and let him bounce until his life goes out. You see what I mean about what's-his-face doing this stuff? And then he all of a sudden changes his spirit when he sees the finish line in the distance. $24,000. Just letting you know, I don't think I've actually ever played this game on YouTube in over 10 years. And I think like the last time I played it was like 2 or 3 years ago. Or actually seriously played it like I am now. I did do a couple rounds where I was half-hearted. That's one thing about Bigfoot. You can't be like half-hearted when you're playing this game. You have to be willing to put a lot into it as far as energy goes. All because of that stupid cross-pad stuff. Now, tractor pull, the Fargo tractor pull is pretty tough, but it's actually really super easy if you know how to use your gears. Here's how I do it, and you can actually get through without damaging any engines. Also, as a hint, well, like I just fucked up right there. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, my French. Nope. There we go. And that's how you get through without damaging an engine. Yeah, so you have to use the gears, but you have to, so, pardon my French on the earlier part, by the way. You have to, the way you win it is basically, first off, you can hold down the nitrous button and during the tractor pull and it won't work before the race starts. Kind of a nice little feature, it makes it easier. But as soon as you hit the freaking buttons, bam, 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 bam. But as soon as it goes, you want to whip through those gears as fast as you can. That'll get you up to speed, and then the inertia of the extra gears will throw you over without needing your engine power to actually do it. So, we're whipping through this pretty quickly. This is also the first time I've ever done this game one fell swoop like this on YouTube. I used to upload it in parts. Here we go. And that's how I meant to do it that first go round. Man, look at the size of that Stomp on Bigfoot sign. Someone was at home, had a little too much construction plywood. Yeah, the Charger. I don't think there was a truck called the Charger, though. I've heard of Terminator, I've seen Growler, I've been hanging around some of the monster trucks. Yeah, Pueblo tractor pull. I will say though, the geography is a little screwed up in this, I guess. Because looking at that, looks like things are slightly off. But we'll see. Sawing him up. Yeah, he gets kind of vicious after you... Oh, he's done. So now we can leisurely go through this level and accumulate points. So no matter how many things we lose. So now as you can see, pressing forward does work. It works pretty well. It's just it's slow. It's a monster truck. What do you expect? It's not a Ferrari. These things weren't meant for speed, especially back in the 80s. Back in the 80s, they'd go maybe 30 miles an hour maximum. Worlds of different from the tube frame trucks we have now that can do like 70 in a heartbeat. God, back up. There you go. We got it. Ain't I a stinker? So, yeah, I'm just winning. I'm literally at a point in this game where I probably couldn't lose even if I didn't win another race. I'm actually kind of shocked I'm actually playing this well. The last time I played this, I both broke the game about halfway through and caused it to lock up after the Mesa, Arizona mud race or whatever. Or I think it was the LA mud race. whichever one it was. I can't even remember which cities and towns are with this. It's been so long. Anyway, we've got a lot of money. I usually end up with like 5 digits by the end. And this is... They call this a car crush, but it's really only a car crush for like the first third of it. And then the rest of it's more like an obstacle course. Trying to get good gas mileage out of Bigfoot. That was some good air. Whoa. That was monster truck destruction level air. And the fans are it's kind of ridiculous because we technically are driving Bigfoot number 5 here. For those of you not in the know, Bigfoot number 5 is the biggest monster truck in the world. It's got 10-foot tall Alaskan Tundra tires on it. There's also a clone of it in Kissimmee St. Cloud, made out of Bigfoot 7, which was the truck from Roadhouse. Woo! Getting some massive air. Damn, number 5, I didn't know you had it in you. They will... Ah! Darn it. There we go. We're getting near the end, so I can just hammer it down. Yeah. I'm also trying to play through this really, really fast. Yeah. I think this might be Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that one's actually kind of around the right spot. U.S. geography and monster trucks. Yep. So while you all are probably down in the comments section making fun of me for babbling like an idiot all the way through this game, while giving some legitimate play tips probably in the process, hey, I'm not a professional narrator. Anyway. Man. Hiya, guys. Say hello to my little friend, DeWalt. Watch out for that tree. Was it George of the Jungle driving the other truck? Now things are about to get super califragilisticexpialidocious here. I've got almost $150,000. I've got, no, not $150, $15,000. Yay, I might be able to buy a fully equipped Ford Ranger then. The prices in this game are a little bit laughable, to be honest. A monster truck back then cost about $100,000 to make, and in here we're building one for probably a little bit less than that. Quite a bit less than that. I think I did the math on it like years ago when I was really bored, and I remembered like falling out of my chair laughing. I was like, did they do any math in this game whatsoever? Is this like, why would you need 4 engines? Other than the fact that it's a video game. But I make fun of this game, but you know I love it. Because I got the handle on it. Some people probably get on here to comment, why the heck did you put this much effort into learning how to play this one? It's like a butt masher. It's horrible. I'm like, you know you're a dedicated fan to something if you freaking... Ah, darn it. Here we go. Saved. And I win. And I didn't even blow up an engine, so that saves me some more money. I get to keep my $135,000. The Crusher. A better ROM hack would have been just to make all the trucks yellow, because there was a lot more yellow monster trucks than there were green ones. Either that or change some of the names out with the more common names like Godzilla or Equalizer. I win again. I'm kind of surprised I haven't lost my touch, because the last time I played this, I did horribly. Aside from locking the game up. Which I don't know how that happened. But it was before I cut the 4th pin on the NES 10 chips, and I didn't have to finagle my cartridges anymore to get it to work. Now it works first try every time. Okay, we're getting into the last 2 rounds of this game. And we're just roaming on through. I am running over these cars. Those cars will give you a lot of extra points. We're getting down to the wire, and I'm starting to win the Tenda Points Championship. You're right, I did Penda Points, Tendo Points. Alright. Those were the days. Tonight on Not Monster Jam. Here's some money. I'm... and more creeping net ear rape theater. Yeah, I should probably mark this as not for adults, because I do use a lot of adult language in my videos, I think. After all, it's not like it's going to really stop anyone. Jeez. I might actually best my top score on this. Jackson City Hill Climb. Entrance fee is $1,000. $1,000 to tear up my truck. Crusher's full flat out, and I'm full flat out on specs. He's got a 571. I've got a 571. That's how I'd like to imagine it. Delaying the inevitable. I've actually beaten the hill climb with all my engines used up before. The time that happened, I was out doing kind of the same thing I was doing there. I really would love to disassemble the code if I could only understand 6507 assembly language and figure out what the heck is going on this level, because this is the hardest level. I mean, even the last level of Bigfoot isn't even nearly as hard as the hill climbs are. You can blow up an engine like 7 times. And you can blow up an engine like all 4 times. Now, I might actually do that this time. I want to get some headway on him. Let's see if we're going to make it on 48s. Oh. Yeah, so you see how hard that is? I basically made it to the finish line and blew all my motors up. The hill climb is very key to get a good start. Otherwise, you are going to mess it up. But as you can see, I got plenty of money, so just got to make sure not to mess it up this round. Yeah, the lack of shocks aren't going to really handicap him much. Here we go. Shoot, he almost went off the screen. There we go. We win! We win! Enough of my horrid voices. Anyway. The Union City Mud Bog. Second to last race. If this ends up being a speed run, I'm going to be shocked. Because I really whipped through this game pretty quick. So. I don't even care. He can blow himself up one more time. I will still win. Yeah, he got the battering ram now. He's got $1,300 to spare, so... What are you doing now, man? Oh, accidentally hit one of my nitros. I'll hit these cars first. Trying to go for that dollar. Man, little dude, you got one heck of a flag. The checkered flag's almost as big as the entire cab of the truck. Yeah, I think this is my highest score ever, or at least maybe close. 66610. Holy cow. I'm going to win this round again. Yeah, I could honestly lose both races and I would probably still be fine. He doesn't even have enough for full tires. Okay. Baby my engine. You gotta watch the temperature gauge. It's the second one from the left on the bottom. If your temperature gauge gets too high, it damages your engine. But you also, at this point, the tracks get so big, you have to watch your fuel. And I win. Yeah, so you're gonna have to watch your fuel on these last two tracks because you can actually use some up quite a bit. You also need to watch your temperature gauge at all times because that's how you blow up engines. I can't believe I didn't mention that. And the more your tachometer, which is the large round dial, is up high, both the more fuel you use and the higher your temperature goes. So, as you can see, I usually ram it the first go round and I try and pulse it. I'm going to try a pulsing technique here. Get way ahead of him. Trying to get way ahead of this guy. There we go. Now we get some raw speed. And we win. Alright, we're on the home stretch. I think the terrain in this game is actually randomly generated. I've never really bothered to map out the tracks. And it seems like every time I play it, I have a different experience, which is part of the reason why I kind of enjoy pulling this one out and playing it every so often still. Anyway, our last track, trying not to kill our truck while we go to the next show. Environmentalists are just screaming, "Who let these morons out with their giant trucks in the middle of the forest? Dagnab them! They're scaring the wildlife and running over the trees!" Yeah, but the trees make my truck explode. Almost said explode. Kids, don't watch too much Homestar Runner. Who am I thinking? There's no kids watching this. They're all playing Monster Truck Destruction. And I'm probably going to do a Let's Play of some of that, too. I can't really do the newer games nearly as much. At least I can't be a completist with the newer games. I just don't have the time. I'm a grown man with a job and a life and a band and all that stuff. So, you know, I always have stuff going on. If I break 80,000, this is going to be awesome, because it'll be like the first time I ever went that high. Because I swear, this is probably the best round of Bigfoot I have ever played. I mean, seriously. I'm already at 75,000 points. Usually I get about 50,000. And they used almost all my engines, so I'm going to take it cooler on the drag race. It's funny that this is the only drag race they have, and really all it is a combination mud race car crush, really. Let's try my pulsing technique. Yep, you're witnessing me live, well, not live, but you're witnessing me on camera doing experiments in gameplay. I'm trying to see if I can save my engine by using my power here. There you go. And time for the last race. Crusher. Yeah, he's got nothing on me. Ding. No point in even using nitros. Just put her in third out the gate and then pulse. Getting some real air off those cars, like modern Hot Wheels monster truck live air. Really see where the gears really help. And I have won the game. Let's see how big my score is. Everyone wins. And I have broken 80,000 points. That is the highest score I have ever gotten on this game. Holy cow. And my reward? A photograph of Bob Chandler with Bigfoot number 5. I think this is an actual picture from his office, if I'm not mistaken, too. They just digitized it in 8-bit. And that was Bigfoot for the NES. Licensed by Nintendo of America and Bigfoot 4x4x4, and created by Beam Software. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching this Let's Play, and it'll probably be the last time I ever post a Let's Play for this one, because I've already done it 3 times. Yep, Acclaim Entertainment's distributor, Beam programmed it. Yes, there's all your credits. Anyway, it's CreepingNet, signing out.